Welcome back to Who Want a Life Sentence. Thank you guys. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down at the bottom. As always, I'm gonna put the cash app up. Do what you're supposed to do. If not, it's all good. Just enjoy the story with your ugly ass. I want to say thank you guys for tuning in and sharing the time with me, listening to the stories, joining the live. We will be going live tonight around by 8:30. We'll be going live. I'll be going live. I want y'all to join me. But I want to say, hey, I'm sorry I've been trying to get this video out to y'all for at least about 4 days. So I thank y'all for being patient. I apologize. Enjoy the video. When I first get out of prison, job hunting like anybody else would be. Most of the time you going from job to job looking for the best job that you can find. I'm doing that, and most of the time the things that are available are fast food jobs and warehouse jobs. Those are the ones are going to be hiring, kind of rapidly because they always need workers. It's a high turnaround rate. It's a lot of labor to it. I get with my auntie. She's living with a guy named Paul. To my knowledge, I don't know if there's any kind of relationship there. My auntie just always have had a lot of male friends. So this was just just Paul, you know what I mean? I don't know what the relationship is. This her friend Paul. So I get with auntie, and Paul got a warehouse job. I'm asking auntie, some kind of way me and auntie get to talking about the job. She tell me that she know where I can get put on quite easily. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. So auntie is helping me with the job. She helped me get the job, the warehouse job. Situation where I remember the urine test. It was like you had to go through all of the paperwork and all those the application phases first, and then once you were accepted, then you would have to supply the urine. I was kind of worried about that, and my aunt tell me, don't worry about that part because we had all been smoking together, smoking the weed, right? I know that I couldn't pass a urine test for the weed. She tell me don't worry about it. When I get past everything and I got to take the urine test, I remember going back to Paul's place. We go back to Paul's place, and Paul had urine like in little medical cups in the refrigerator. I don't know who pee it was, you know what I'm saying? But he had them on. I think he used to sell them to the people on the job or something like that. Like if someone would get hurt or run into something on a forklift or something, you could buy some pee from Paul. So that was one of the things that I remember that was real distinctive about Paul. When it was time for me to take my test, we went and got, auntie drove me back to the apartment. Paul got us some urine and, went and passed the test. That ended up not working out because eventually when I end up getting paid, my aunt had been looking out for me for, maybe probably about a week or two or three, maybe about anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. And when I got my first check, she was expecting a cut. And, even now I can't say that was wrong, but with it being my first check, there's no telling how I was thinking, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get my first check up. So some kind of way that job don't end up working out because of the discrepancy with my first check, right? So boom, we end up going our separate ways. Now, at this point on, everything is secondhand. Sorry about that, y'all. As soon as I get to talking to y'all, phone get to going off. But from this point on, everything is secondhand. So my aunt is, I don't know if her and Paul got a place together, and I don't know what their relationship is, but they have a 2-bedroom together. Paul is real easygoing. Nice dude. I don't know what his background is. He could have been a recovering addict, or could have been just a hard worker all his life. I don't really know his background. All I know is he's my auntie friend. He go to work, he come home. Whatever he do it inside the apartment, and that's it. You know what I mean? He ain't out to my knowledge, he ain't have much of a party life or anything going on, but he would just, come back to his apartment, and that's how he made his life and his living. My aunt meet this other guy. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try it again. My aunt meet this other guy, and she allowed him to move in. Again, I don't know the full particulars of the situation. I'm just giving you guys what I know. And for me knowing my aunt, he probably had a room and had to pay a certain amount, and my aunt was probably making some kind of cap, you know what I mean? So this go on for a period of time. One night, if I'm not mistaken, there was some drugs involved, some cocaine, and from what the report read, I've read the report, and I've actually seen the pictures of what happened from the ME or the detective, because my aunt had them. And it says that the man that she let move in, he had got high, and he was demanding something or another. He wouldn't leave Paul alone. If I'm not mistaken, the problem didn't start with Paul. It may even have been with my aunt. But Paul come out of his room to do something, go in the refrigerator, or something normal, and the dude directs his assault at Paul. Get verbal assault, talking about him. I think he even tried to muscle Paul, and Paul is smaller than him. And I'm trying to remember this. I think at some point the guy put his hands on Paul. He maybe slammed him or threw him on the ground and pinned Paul down. And, Paul was struggling trying to get up. And he was telling the guy, like, get up, man, get up off me, get up off me. And the dude was, had him on the ground. What you gonna do? This, talking that crazy bully stuff. Or what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I do this to you. I do that to you. Might have had Paul in the choke or whatever. When Paul eventually gets out of the choke and get off the ground, he goes in the kitchen and he grabs a candy bar. You know what I mean? Shout out to Bill Feezy. He go grab the candy bar. He comes back to where Big Boy at, and he give Big Boy the candy bar. When Big Boy eventually fall on the ground, Paul hit him with the candy bar like anywhere from 30 to 50 more times. I can't remember. Maybe because I just remember numbers in the situation. I remember 20s, and I remember something about the 50s. So it may have been Paul, gave him the candy bar 50 times. And he ended up getting 20 years. Maybe that's what the 20 was. And I remember thinking and questioning, like, why did Paul get, 20 years? Because it was clear, it was real clear that old boy was the aggressor. Old boy was pushing up on him. Paul was minding his business. It was self-defense. The dude had slammed him and choked him, and, a whole lot more. But he was given the 20 years and dropped to like manslaughter because of the overkill. Even after the dude was rendered helpless and no longer a threat, Paul was still giving him candy bar. You know what I mean? He was making sure that, what we do here today, it stays done. It can't be undone. So it was overkill, and they end up giving Paul manslaughter. Paul had to be at least 50 or 60s when this happened. And if I'm not mistaken, he been in there around 12 years. So he still got a little hump to go. You know what I mean? Shout out to Paul, man. I never knew Paul to, be an aggressor, and he ain't gonna start no problems. But he just one to be played with.